Hello, and welcome to the PlanetSide Meltdown Update live stream, where we're going to reveal a little bit about what we've been working on, and yeah, we're excited to show you guys what's been going on. So here with me today is game designer extraordinaire Rel.
Yeah, you're gonna get me in trouble right from the start.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I am your PlanetSide producer, Nick Silva. We're going to be showing you guys a couple new pieces of class equipment today. There's probably going to be some more classic equipment coming after that.
Yeah. Yep. Except for TR.
Except for the
No.
TR. They do not get new class
Didn't get
equipment.
anything. Yeah. No, I
And
mean we're gonna be showing off some toys, but that's not why you're here.
no,
Hopefully.
no.
No.
We're gonna. So what we are gonna be showing off, and what this new critical mass update is really all about, is new continent locking mechanics. So there's a lot to explain there, and we're excited to show it off and start getting your guys' feedback.
Yeah.
So the first toy that we're going to be showing off today, before we get to that though, oh, and before I get on to that, we're going to be giving away Daybreak Cash in the chat. There is a moderator, Meps, I believe, that's going to be running some raffles there, and yeah, just pay attention to him, and I think we'll start. I'll give you guys a heads up when we're going to start doing those. But yeah, just pay attention to chat for that stuff.
Do it to it.
So the first thing we're going to be showing off is the new jump
Blah
jets.
blah blah.
Okay.
Blah.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, how you guys doing? Not too bad, I hope. Not too salty. Now, yeah. So, like Nick said, we're trying to come up with some equipment, or come up with, rather, we have some new class equipment on the way. One of which is a new jump jet type, which I think light assault is a close to medium range skirmish. Oh my god! Okay. Yeah, so I have God mode on right now, but these are the ambusher jump jets, and if you notice on the left-hand side of the screen, the energy, it goes away immediately after using it. So instead of being on a sort of a tapered, you know, more versatile, I guess, than the other jump jets. It's very deliberate in that you can cross large distances. Probably, can I make it? Yeah, I can make it. Yeah, very quickly. So it allows you to cover ground fast. And this is something that the community has actually asked for a while. Actually, ever since Star Wars Battlefront came out. Go figure. But yeah, so it does offer some new opportunities, and it's kind of a high skill piece of equipment that I think will appeal more to the veteran players than some of the lower levels, because it definitely, again, it's very specific in its use. As you rank it up, the cooldown on it goes down, and it's going to have some different interactions with aerial combatant. As soon as so if you have rank 5 aerial combatant, if you kill one person, then it's just going to instantly restore the cooldown, and it'll make it little chaotic, nice and quick strikes, chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I especially like whenever you have that downward velocity and then you fire it off. Then it sort of blasts you straight ahead.
Right.
So
yeah. There are some tricks you can kind of do with it, but you're not going to get a lot of vertical height out of it, and that's the intent, right? It's not to replace any of the other jump jets, but you'll definitely get a lot of mileage from it, and I think people will just like going fast. Gotta go fast. Jump jets start cost. So I guess there was a question about the start cost. Let's see. So kind of unsure. Like, so normally the other jump jets they're very inexpensive to level up. Skirmisher jump jets are obviously the cheapest because you get them by default. The ambusher jump jets, I think we should probably push it toward the more expensive side. Just not like super expensive, but more like adrenaline shield style expensiveness, just so that it kind of deters newer players, because this is something that newer players are just honestly going to get killed with. So we're kind of kicking around the idea of doing battle rank unlocks on these sorts of things, and just like new equipment in general, but that it's not in the cards for this.
No.
So yeah, maybe someday we'll have some fun with that. But yeah, so if you have any more questions, this stuff is actually going to hit PTS sometime in the near future, just all the stuff that we're actually showing off today. So hopefully you'll get to play around with it.
cool.
Yeah.
Ready to move on to the next one?
Sure.
So as we're moving on to the next thing, that was the signal to go ahead and give out one of those Daybreak cache codes. So hopefully Ted has that under control. Cool. So the next thing that we're going to be showing off is the Nano-Repair Grenade for the engineer, the new toy for the engineer.
Yeah.
So
Where are you?
go ahead
Where you
and
at?
flip it over to my feed. There we go. So under Grenade here, how much is it? These are going to be 200 certs.
Yeah, most likely 200.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Nano-Repair Grenade, we got a nice little model here for it already.
Yeah,
Another
sexy
thing
looking.
that's notable for it is that it has a slightly higher nanite cost for resupplying. I've already have my what do they call the grenade bandolier already equipped, so I can throw a bunch of them. So the main thing that we're getting here is a new sticky grenade that sticks onto vehicles or whatever else you can throw them at. And after a 3-second delay, will start repairing. Creates a repair field around where the grenade goes off. It doesn't last for especially long, but it allows for you to do some pretty neat little tricks. Let's get a flash down.
Gotcha.
Here, I'll do it.
Gotcha. Hold on.
Flash.
No. Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, one of the fun little things to do is to jump into the other seat on the flash, and throw a quick grenade, and now you have a. Oh.
Yeah, you can see it in first person.
Yeah.
So probably don't throw it at your dashboard, but yeah. So the Jesus. Hey, can you?
Oh yeah, you don't have to type Raffle to enter. It's it's
Yeah.
everyone who's been within chat for 10 minutes at least.
Yeah. So as long as you've posted a comment at some point, you know, not a salty one, right? I mean, because you guys just love your life, and yeah, just any sort of comment at all. The chat will know that you're hanging out, and we'll be giving away stuff without the need to type.
To rapidly type in
right.
codes as we try
Yeah.
to reveal them on stream. We know you guys how much you love that particular way
there's
of,
some of that action.
of giving codes out.
All right, so engineer repair grenade is something that we can. It's going to be for all engineers, obviously. The intent was to give engineers something that can support the team and do so in such a way that isn't found in the utility slot, just like everything else. Because right now they only have access to sticky grenades and frag grenades. So moving Nano-Repair to a grenade is something that's been asked for a lot within the community, and it's something that just kind of makes sense. It does stick to max units, it does stick to flashes and other vehicles like Nick was showing off. And the repair grenade, it lasts for 10 seconds, the field. What are you doing? Oh.
Oh no, I'm just
Oh,
watching
you're watching
you.
me?
You're
Oh,
sort of
okay.
glitching around.
They're
Oh,
holding up white boards in the back so that we can read your questions.
Yes.
Sorry.
So,
if
yes, we got it.
If we gaze off into
so
nothingness.
it has an area of effect that it heals in.
Yeah.
And so you can place it on your own vehicle even if your vehicle is already sort of fully repaired and drive it in the middle of a bunch of other vehicles. You're going to be able to sort of do a mass repair of all those vehicles. You can sort of at least temporarily act as like a repair Sunday.
So we don't want it to stack, though. So you just have one on the field. Actually, the engineer can only throw one at a time. If you throw another one, get out of here, anti-sights! Get out of here, anti-sights!
He's distracting us.
Jesus, anti-sights. All right. Yeah. So we don't want you to stack a whole bunch of them, but you can throw one out. If you throw another one, the first one just disappears. But and multiple grenades from multiple engineers do not stack either. But it will be something that's kind of cool for especially like max crashing and that sort of thing. Gives engineer a little bit more team play potential.
Yeah,
Nice
and
and
then,
easy.
I guess maybe we didn't point that as you can stick one of these things to a max, and
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah,
just like another way you can throw out your repairs for maxes.
Super sticky.
So
All right. Any more questions?
yeah,
Let's drop a question.
Let's drop a couple questions, and while we're doing that, you can do another raffle of a Daybreak cash code.
Yeah. You guys got nothing on this.
Okay, let's see. We can see chat here, but it goes by really fast. How long does the grenade last for?
So which grenade has priority if there's more than one? So there's no stacking priority, right? So it will just put. I think it works on the first grenade that ends up in the area because it starts repairing. I don't think the overlaps. I mean, it's worth testing. It's something that we haven't tested because it's kind of, it would be an edge case thing, right? Yeah, I want to say it's the first grenade. Yeah, yeah. We'll see.
Cool.
We'll see on test. Like I said, all this stuff is going to be on test soon.
And then how long did the grenade last for?
10 seconds.
10-second repair.
10 seconds.
So it takes 3 seconds to activate, and then it stays active for 10 seconds.
And guys, do let us know that if it seems too long or if it seems too powerful, if the cost is just too much, which I don't think that'll be a real issue. But just any sort of feedback, we're always paying attention to that. So feel free to throw it our way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here.
I love the Flash. This is my favorite vehicle in the game. Valkyrie's the second vehicle.
Especially like the launch, using it as a launch to get height for doing drifter jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang
That's my favorite, is watching. I can't do it, but when I see other people do it, it's pretty amazing. All right, should we move on to the big reveal of what we're doing with the new continent locking mechanics, or wait, no, there was something we wanted to do before that. Introduce a new team member.
We almost forgot about you. Who's this random person in the back? So, we'd like to introduce a new teammate to you. Yes. Not a new teammate. Sorry, he's been around for a while. We'll get through that once he gets here. Get over here.
So.
And hopefully he's got his mic on.
Here.
I know. Okay, so here's funny, right? Yesterday we went through and we rehearsed this, practiced it, and everything was moving swimmingly. Yes. And now we're here and we're just forgetting about Paul. Paul Giaggio.
Yes.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey.
Not too bad. little off our game, but
yes.
that's
all
fine.
right.
You love it. Okay. So Paul, if you want to introduce yourself to the wonderful PlanetSide community, and tell us who you are, how long you've been on the team, where you've worked prior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Paul Giaggio. I've been in the industry for 6 or 7 years now as a programmer. I started off at Reactor Zero. They did a lot of simulation stuff for the government, so game adjacent, but they definitely had a lot of game industry vets found that place. A lot of the Outrage game guys, if you are interested to look that up later. From there, I went to S2 Games and worked on Heroes of New Earth for 5 years.
Dang right.
I wrote the bots for that.
And that was before it became Frostburn.
Yes. So Heroes of New Earth originally was at S2 Games, and then after a couple of years, it transitioned to be its own studio, Frostburn Studios, and they're still doing great work over there. I still got a lot of friends out there. Yeah. And then about a little bit more than a year ago, I came out to sunny California to work at Daybreak on PlanetSide 2.
Yeah.
And I'd played a fair amount of PlanetSide 2 prior to joining the team, NC. Lots of light assault. Lots of interesting vectors to attack from for that.
Which faction do you play?
I play NC.
Dang.
I feel like
I'm not a fan.
We have one representative for each faction here. You main TR pretty hard, right?
What? No. I main VS. Let's be honest. Yes, I main VS just like you, Nick.
All right.
If it helps, most of the testing I do is on TR.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, TR are the lab rats. This is why you're underpowered. Yeah. So you worked at S2 Games. Heroes of New Earth, by the way, I played that a lot. So actually, when I got here, I didn't know about Paul. He was here in California a little bit before me. Yeah, and so when I got here and learned about his story, I was kind of excited because Heroes of New Earth was there was a lot of time spent in that game for me.
Oh yeah,
and
likewise,
it's really good.
It's really good.
It's probably one of the better.
They solved a lot of problems that other games in that genre either took later or still haven't solved.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of good work there. And I played I think 1,300 hours of it at a certain point.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of frustration involved.
But I find it to be pretty similar to PlanetSide 2 in the sense that it's got a very passionate player base. They are very particular about what they like, and definitely huge fans of the developers.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right,
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah.
Huge
Yeah.
fans.
Coxmas actually just said that he's a huge fan of you.
Oh, no kidding. Cool.
Right on.
Yeah, you can probably find a video of me on YouTube somewhere, so good luck with that. But
Cool.
So
All right.
shall we move on to the reveal of what's going on with the continent locking?
Yeah, sure, why not? So continent locking is traditionally, and by traditionally I mean it's just on this way on live, is done by gathering VP, and then you get enough VP, and then the continent locks. Well, that has unfortunately been causing a lot of surprise continent locking. You'll be in the middle of a fight, and then just it'll suddenly lock. I mean, you won't be able to. There's no. It's not like a punctuated victory. It kind of just feels like it's interrupted. And that happened more often than not. Some of that is due to construction, as players have noted out time and time again, because hives will tick up cordium, or refine the cordium and then tick up VP. And same thing, actually, alerts were giving VP as well. And it wasn't a really, wasn't kind of a, I want to say like a cohesive experience.
there wasn't a nice arc to the narrative
yeah.
of each continent.
You should, that very well said. Yeah, you should be able to log in, I think, and kind of understand where the current state of the continent is, and just what your objectives will be to actually lock that continent, and actually care about locking a continent. So some of that is receiving some adjustments. Are you okay? So where's Nick?
I'm right here.
Okay, that's fine. Actually, you know what? Okay, so I'm just going to go to the map screen. So some of the things that we changed is that now victory points are, it's done very, it's very straightforward. In order to lock a continent, actually before I get to that, in order to lock a continent, you now need to hit 10 VP. They're not VP anymore, but they're just points. You need to hit the maximum number of points, which is 10 for all the continents, and once you do that, an alert will trigger, in which case the triggering faction will need to defend territory. And if they can defend enough of the territory, it's like an adversarial alert, in which case it pits the other two factions against you. So if you are able to defend enough of the territory, then the continent locks in your favor. If you fail, then the continent does not lock. So nice and straightforward. And
It's certainly easier to understand exactly what's going on as you jump in.
yeah, the victory point system was it was kind of a checklist of just things that you could do, and it also it looked too much to the past, right? So if you were like opening a continent and then you rush down the warp gate and then you get points, okay? What does that mean? Because then you lose your link, and then it doesn't reflect the current state of the continent again. So instead of having this checklist, it's a very straightforward way to generate, or to use your points to lock the continent. Man, I'm really off point today. Man, Jesus. Okay,
To
all right.
support the war effort.
Got it. I got this.
But it's
Okay.
it's more representative of the living state of the continent, and trying to make it clear exactly where things are going and how far along that progress is.
Yeah, absolutely. So the ways to do this, right, to get the 10 VP has actually been changed as well. So we are, you can see up here at the top of the map, the path to victory is defined by getting 8 points, up to 8 points rather, through territory control, and then the other 2 points are generated through hives. So using the construction system to generate the only permanent VP is kind of like the second piece to that puzzle. So territory matters a lot. Matters a lot now, and then once you start the alert, then it matters even more, because that's all that determines the win or the loss. So we can...
Yeah, but just to clarify that, definitely hives are required to actually activate the alert. And then they're also important because they're the only ones that are generated VP. And if you manage to, if the other two teams manage to stop you from capturing the continent via the alert by taking territory away from this team that's in the lead, that will cause those generated VP that they got from the hives to be wiped out.
Right.
So they have to actually build up towards that again, and it gives the other two factions a chance to. They've already claimed some territory during the alert. Gives them a chance to sort of swing the tide back in their direction and start the alert for themselves, trying to capture the continent.
So it's a combination of both territory control and construction. If you get as much territory as the system allows, you'll have 8, and then you'll need 2 points from construction. But if you're still only able to manage, say, 6 points like we have right now, you can generate the rest of that through construction.
Wait.
Yeah.
No. Well, we cap it out at 2.
Oh, we cap it at 2.
Yeah. There was an earlier version, and we've
my
kind
mistake.
of we've debated
It's
this
gone through
a little
lot
bit.
of iteration.
No, it has, and so we right now construction is required in order to get the last 2 VP, and the
Okay. So the
Yeah.
points that reset
Yes.
is only the ones generated by the hive. So you if you lost the alert, then you probably don't have 8 territory points anymore. You probably have 7 at the minimum, or at the maximum. But you now have 0 from your hives. So you need to either make hives again, or they need to start generating again.
right. So there was a question that came up on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
I like how we just all pause and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
have to read it. Yeah. So okay, let's go through this again.
Okay.
But it has received a number of iterations, and there's also the opportunity to make further adjustments depending on the feedback from the community. But again, so territory gets you a certain amount of VP, and then it's always in flux because territory is always in flux. The only permanent aspect of this is through hive generation. Once you get the points, then you have them, and provided you have enough territory, then you trigger the alert on the continent. If your faction fails the alert, the continent doesn't lock, and those Cordium VP get stripped from you, which that setback allows the other 2 factions to kind of get their turn to shine there. So I do say that construction is required, but honestly, enough players play construction to where this shouldn't be you should never feel compelled, I think, to play construction. I think there's enough players who do that just naturally that it'll always kind of work itself out. But it does give you the opportunity to either, if you want to take back territory, to stop the opposing factions from reaching their maximum VP, you can do that. If you want to squash hives, it now matters more than it used to.
Yeah, because there's no longer, you can't just build a bunch of hives and generate all your VP that
Yeah.
way. It's just 2 points that can be generated that way, and so
Absolutely. So nice and easy. I know how to explain it twice.
The panel you're showing certainly doesn't help. That's being
Yeah.
re-engineered right now to make it a lot more clear what's going on with this system.
Right, I probably should have pointed that out earlier. But again, the system will be going to test. It will be a little bit different on test, I believe, than we're showing on main.
Yeah.
And then we'll be able to iterate on it after the fact, of course.
Yep.
But got my face, Nick.
Hey, that wasn't nice.
So for the purposes of showing off what happens when you do lock a continent, and you guys already know, I'm gonna just lock it real fast. So if TR were, to example, have locked the continent. Actually, okay, let me start over. If right now I'm locking the continent just to have the maximum number of maximum amount of territory, so that we can quickly finish this this alert. So the alert pops up. If you were to hit the continent's VP, it says Indar Superiority for TR, Indar Enlightenment for VS, Indar Liberation for NC, and then you can see on the tab screen. Oh wait, okay. Actually, let me show this off. Oh, look at that! It's no longer in your face when you're trying to shoot people, like Nick. Yeah.
He keeps killing me.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, but the tab screen also shows. Well, it's broken right now because I locked the continent on. Actually, I can't end the alert or else fun things happen. Okay, so if you look at the very bottom, the war effort is shown, and the VP, it's only saying 0 because I have the continent locked. Should have went through this a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Indar Superiority, it's shown there. It says TR need at least 41% territory control, and that's the win state of the continent. So very self-explanatory, easy to access with the tab screen, which has been kind of a pain point for a long time, just having to hit M and then go check on your VP. Okay, what do I need to do? You bring the list down, and then you go back to playing the game. So yeah, much easier now. So if the continent, or if TR were to win the alert, and again, I just have the continent locked for the, just to have all the territory and quickly lock this out so we can all see. Let's see. So the alert ends, and then everything dies. Everything
Well,
dies.
not if you won.
Yeah, TR doesn't.
Right. Only Nick dies. Wow, you are super glowy.
Oh, then there's a little reveal there too.
What is this?
So
What is that?
there
What's
was
going on
there was
there?
a question of how long does
Shoot
the
at it.
alert last?
The alert lasts for 1 hour.
So that's a full hour
Mhm.
of having to fight over the control of the.
Yeah, over territory. Right. So previous alerts had lasted like 2 hours. I can't remember. I think they may have gone down to an hour and a half at some point. But an hour is we can tune it up or down based on feedback again. And I'm detracting for this moment. Go out there and die, Nick.
All right.
Go sit under one of the red beams of death. And oh, it's too late.
Okay.
Too late. Well, now we have to do something else.
Fire it off again. Oh, do a NC one.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can show the scoreboard there. Now that it's unlocked.
Oh yeah, there we go. See, got the go on. Yeah, we got numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and the content's reset. So if we were to lock it to NC just so that it's all blue.
It's a good color, blue.
Dang right. Indoor liberation. Again, that's the NC's alert. And we referred.
So, and just to be clear, this is also happening a little out of order. Is the alert would happen and then the continent? would
Yeah.
happen.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
doing this because we need to admin control just
Yes.
to show it off
Yeah,
quickly.
make it easy to show off.
Yeah. So the what we call internally is the meltdown system. Yes. Go run. Go
I'm
run.
trying, I'm
Go run to
trying.
the red beam. It's calling towards you, Nick. Just go.
Oh God.
Actually, I'm I'm TR, so I'm dying too. No.
So,
Okay.
yes, the other alerts are gone for now.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
this system replaces the existing alert system, and
Right.
we will be probably adding back some of those alerts, but they'll be coming back in a different form.
So yeah, if you want, I could talk about some of the technical stuff that needed to happen to make this possible.
Yeah, sure. And then after you're done, we'll talk a little bit about rewards because that's what I'm most excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know
Absolutely.
what? Hey, before we get to that, I kind of want to just mention because this does replace alerts, like Nick said, and that was a question that was brought up in chat. And it's not to say that we don't want alert style gameplay to happen, but this system will have to replace it for now. If we end up doing alerts in the future, it'll more be stuff that like events that sort of they shape the gameplay and make you play in a different way. Actually, the prototype alert was on PTS, and that was kind of some experimental stuff that we're toying around with. But yeah, so I would stay tuned for something like that. But as far as random alerts, it's not happening anymore. This is kind of the system that is in place because we like the fact that alerts kind of drive you toward a very strategic look at the game and do so in a time frame, which you can log in. You can kind of play for your session. If you want to trigger an alert, you'll know that we need this amount of territory that we can trigger it, and then you'll be able to say, okay, this is going to last for an hour. You'll know how to or what happens, right? Like how long you need to play before getting something cool. And yeah, so just that sort of structured gameplay, it kind of harkens back to match-based play with other games like Battlefield and that sort of thing. So yeah, we do like the structure that it creates, and it makes people play super tactical, which is what we want you to do now, like as much as possible. So that's we're kind of bringing back the territory meta in 2017. So yeah, Nick or Paul, sorry.
He's Nick. I'm Paul.
Yep, has invested a lot of time developing the system, and it seems on the surface like it's something that we could have just like done, because the changes were like visually, it doesn't seem maybe like a whole lot, but there was a lot that got restructured. Yeah, so let's talk about that.
One thing that you did not mention that's really my favorite part of the critical mass meltdown stuff is that it's really going to drive combat to different areas than you're used to seeing. With it being on a particular zone, I think that a lot more players are going to get involved on those side zones that they haven't maybe experienced like a huge battle on a particular area or anything like that.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
I'm excited to see big battles on areas that normally I don't.
Yeah, and actually, the just by virtue of having content lock here, by virtue of uh, the strategic gameplay that allows you to cut off, allied territory, that is something that kind of didn't have a whole lot of gusto to it. Like it was a mechanic when you cut off territory, that removes it from the VP scoreboard right now. So if you want to just kind of take away someone's impending victory, like that is easy for you to do. So at a tactical level, I think that the squads and the platoons and organized outfits are really going to have a heyday with this sort of thing.
We're really hoping it's going to help players get organized a bit better and focus them, because that tends to be the most enjoyable stuff, at least for me.
Yeah, I think so too. Get away from that farm mentality a little bit.
Yeah. Everyone knows that team play in our game is OP. We're not going to be nerfing that anytime soon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So the only way to really or the way to be competitive for capturing these continents is to take advantage of that team play OP-ness as much as possible, and just coordinate your efforts. And if you are off farming somewhere, then you're not helping your team. So and we'll get into the reward. Were you done on the technical?
Oh no, I hadn't even
started. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's raffle. Do one more of the raffles in this chat, and fire away on the.
And you don't need to type. You don't need to type anything.
We got you covered.
Yep.
All right, so the meltdown system, the critical mass system, was an overhaul of the alert system. We already had this cool event-driven system on the world level that sits above all the continents to try and decide when things are going to happen. And so we took advantage of that and kind of created a new type of alert for this we're using that one exclusively for the system to control what is locking the continent. Originally it was kind of an automatic thing, going and making it in control of the world, in control of the alert system. We also, to get some of these nice flashy bits, we expanded the scripting power. Our engine runs the Lewis scripting engine on top of it, and that's a more accessible, easier to iterate with, so that our designers can really get in and try a bunch of stuff out, and be able to quickly iterate on a bunch of cool stuff that they want to do. So part of developing this was expanding that, and we're always looking for opportunities to invest in things that'll benefit us in the future, on the programming side, that is.
Right, yeah. When we implement some code-based features, we always have to look to the future, right? And also, we want to get kind of, like Paul said with the Lewis scripting system, we want to give more power to the designers, because code time is very valuable. And design time is valuable too.
But it's very valuable.
Yeah, right. But we definitely have some limitations, and when you increase the power that design has, it allows us to just experiment with so much. And
exactly.
Do some really cool
frees
stuff.
up the programmers to focus on other aspects, so that we can do other cool things while they're doing cool things, and then more cool things happen.
Lots of cool things.
All the cool things.
Yeah.
So outside of that, I made a bit of changes to the reward system, so that we can have lovely rewards when you finish the event. Yep. Whether you win, lose, or kind of meet at a bit of a stalemate,
right?
You will get cool stuff, and it's dependent on how much you have participated during the alert. So by that we mean how much time you have spent in the zone, fighting and contributing, and so you can't just jump in at the last second to get your reward. You have to have contributed a certain amount. And so we could talk about the types of rewards that you get.
Yeah, let's do that. So rewards now they're kind of tiered in a few different ways based on who triggered the alert, and whether that faction won or lost. So there's about 3 tiers. So if your faction triggers the alert and locks the continent, you get, well, actually everybody gets ISO 4. Yeah, and
Everybody gets ISO.
everybody
You
get
gets
some
ISO.
ISO, yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
being the
you get some ISO.
Yeah.
that
so-
being the implant currency that lets
Right.
you upgrade your implants, and
Absolutely.
I think you can
You can
buy
also-
implants with
you,
it now.
You can also buy implants with it.
Yeah. So players have been asking for like an easier time getting implants in general. And ISO 4, actually the ISO 4 recycler that we have in the depot is it has a higher chance of getting better implants, or rather the less common
I
ones.
think a couple people noticed that.
Yeah, we can tell. So that's again, it just gives you another path to getting there that doesn't require you spending certifications specifically. And it's important to note that the implant system is a monetization system, so we want to tune things conservatively to the point where we don't just break it and then get back to square one. So the rewards that you get, the amount of ISO that you get from these alerts, is it's tuned very conservatively. I'll just put it like that. I mean, it's significant benefit for the people who start the alert and win the continent. Like, you win. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's good. But we also don't want players to game the system and find ways to kind of just undermine the
Like,
spirit.
Jump in at
of-
the last second. Just
Yeah.
like
Right.
we're sure that like there's going
Yeah.
to be ways people find ways to
Players
Yeah.
are very
Not-
creative,
not
trying to
play
get what they want.
with the spirit
Yeah.
of the system.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the whole system is to try to make a better experience for everyone.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
to that end, we found ways to
Yep.
avoid exploits and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Trying.
And the first way.
Yep.
Did
The
you-
first,
did- yeah.
as I mentioned before, the alert tracks progress. It tracks participation for
Mhm.
each player. You know, how long you were in the zone, what you were contributing, that sort of thing, during the alert. So if you're there for the full hour, you get the full amount of ISO. If you're there for half of it, you get roughly half of the ISO.
Right.
And so that part is scaled. But for the other rewards you get, there's a certain threshold you have to reach in terms of like the percentage of time used.
Yeah, and I hadn't mentioned the other rewards just yet, but if you start an alert
Mhm.
and then you actually finish, you lock a continent, you get a loot box as well. Loot box with
Well,
decals.
I wouldn't call it a loot box. I think that has negative connotations. With
Well,
our
it's
community.
not. We're not
They-
selling it.
From
Yeah,
from
so-
a collection of a particular set of
We call it a loot basket.
a loot
It's
table.
just a little
loot
loot
table.
basket, and you just get the things out of
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
No, the
Yeah.
yes. Sorry, I'm sorry. Yes. Loot box does have some negative connotations,
Yeah.
but we're not selling this. This is specifically actually this is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
What we want to do is make it so you, as even a free player, are going to get cosmetics.
Yep.
You're going to get so decals and like composite armor and like
Yeah,
composite armor.
Yeah,
You got it last time.
I was playing with the system yesterday, and I didn't know the composite armor was actually on the loot table, and I got it, and I was pretty surprised. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that's,
so-
that's like a significant piece of cosmetic. It's
Yeah.
not just a decal or
Yeah, so like free players, like this is your first opportunity to get something that would otherwise only be sold in the depot. Yeah, that's kind
So
of a cool thing in itself.
from a collection that we have picked out. It will randomly select one of those as long as you have participated enough.
Mhm.
And it's a different set depending on whether you were the faction that is locking, or you stopped a faction from locking and you were the higher between the. So if say one faction starts the alert and they get stopped by not having enough territory, between the two remaining factions, whoever has the largest territory control is considered the winner.
Right. Yeah. So he's talking about the mid-tier reward.
Mhm.
So only the people who lock the continent actually get the
They get
Loot
the
basket.
the nicest selection.
right. But everybody gets constellation regardless. Win, lose, doesn't matter. You're going to get something, and that's going to be in the form of ISO. So if you didn't start the alert and you had the least amount of territory,
Yep.
then you get the lowest reward. But so there are actually, so there was a question in chat talking about alerts possibly being too difficult to win. And actually, this is something that we have seen in the past. There were adversary alerts at one point, and I'll address that. Actually, make sure to make me address
Yeah,
it.
it'd be a weird flip because right now what you see is that the weak faction is actually the one that gets targeted by the other two more powerful factions, and that's the way the game sort of plays out usually on the live servers right now. So.
Yeah, and also it depends on the map too. Like sometimes you just get stuck fighting a faction because there's like on Azimir, like the southeastern corner, like there's not enough ways to move around the map, so that kind of just is what it is. I will address that.
But we were talking about.
But what were we talking about? I got distracted by
rewards.
a whiteboard. Fun rewards. Okay. Also, fun rewards. These loot boxes, the baskets, loot. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't stay away from
collections of loot.
Call it whatever you want. They get free crap.
Yeah,
It's
free
awesome.
crap. So the
It's
free
not
crap.
It's cool stuff.
It's cool. It's free.
The free composite crap. So you can also get. There are rewards tailored to specific continents. So if you lock, say, Azimir, maybe you get something that's Azimir specific. And actually, there's some stuff in the loot table that you aren't going to find in the depot. And this is actually a really cool opportunity to like give you the things that we don't sell. So it's kind of a cool thing, kind of something to chase and motivate certain players. All right, do we want to talk about the 2v1ing?
Yeah, can you talk
I'll
about
hit it
the
real
2v1ing for a second?
Yeah, so one of the things that we can do, adversarial alerts in the past. I should probably crack open that water. Adversarial alerts in the past have kind of focused. Thank you, Paul.
I'm very helpful.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, they have kind of focused the attention. I'll get to this. Of the other two factions to kind of like beat the other faction into a corner, and that's still going to be kind of a possibility. But if it proves too difficult, and we'll pay attention, we'll monitor this. If it proves too difficult to actually win an alert, if the continent rotations are too slow, we can always reel in the amount of territory control that you need to actually have. So that it makes it much more feasible to like just being the first one there is actually a really good thing because it'll still give you a great opportunity to lock the continent.
The faction that is locking is already in a position of power.
Right.
They've already managed to control enough territory and have enough stable bases to lock it. So they're already in a good position.
Right.
All they have to do is hold that position.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So
we already make it so the amount of territory that you need to get 8 VP is done in such a way that it is pretty high. So all the factions are going to be playing kind of try hard just to get that to trigger the alert in the first place. And again, you are starting from a position of power, so you're not setting yourself up for failure. And that should be a good way. I think we have some tuning knobs to kind of.
I think it's going to make for some really interesting fights, and
yeah.
We're obviously paying a lot of attention to what's going to be going on the public test when it comes out, which should be pretty soon.
Analyst helmet question mark.
Okay, so let me really quickly. I saw a couple.
But we're going to be able to adjust those values and tune it to something that's going to work best for everyone.
Yeah.
I saw a question about population control.
Yep.
We're definitely looking into ways to change the way population control is handled, and especially with the release of this system. So.
Yeah. So akin to the difficulties fighting multiple factions. The population is going to weigh very heavily into that. So we do have short-term solutions lined up as well as long-term solutions lined up. I'm not going to talk too much about that at the moment because we have a couple options that we're exploring right now that we're not really decided on like 100%. So, but that is going to be something that I think is necessary to release with the meltdown update.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we're definitely paying attention.
Cool. I think that sort of covers the continent locking stuff that we wanted to cover. Is there anything that we forgot?
Well, they were asking about, how does a 2v1 match work? So the real question is, between the three of us, who would win 2v1?
Really? You saw that come up in chat?
Wait,
are you just intimidated because it's me?
Oh yeah, I'm intimidated.
Is the question which one of us could beat the other two?
Yeah,
I don't
clearly.
know. I don't think so.
You don't think I could take you guys?
Let's not even go
no,
down
both
this
of us.
route right now.
Let's do another raffle, and then we can take some questions. But
yeah.
Other than that, I think we can.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's take some questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
Yeah, we're not going to do this awkward thing where we sit here and wait for your questions, though.
What?
We might do that.
We might do that.
We
We
might
might
do
do that.
So-
There was a question about the analyst helmet that you guys were
Yeah,
talking about.
that
actually.
analyst helmet. Yeah, definitely. Okay,
Yeah.
let me. I was going to save this for the end, but yeah, we're going to, as Paul was saying, we're going to be taking this to our PTS, our test server. We were hoping to do that very soon. We should be able to do it by the end of the week, hopefully. Maybe definitely by next week. And we're really hoping that you guys can get on there, test out the new systems. Definitely start finding like the weird stuff that we're
Yeah.
not seeing, because it is a pretty major change to our alert system. It's a major change to just how continents are locked. There's all this reward stuff that we definitely want to start getting some, like finding some bugs around. So yeah, get on there and work it the way you guys do all the time. It's amazing some of the stuff you guys come up with. We are gonna. Oh, what was? Okay, people will be able to reel back the.
Just continue.
Yeah. Okay. The main thing is to get on there, and we're going to be planning a public test around that. And so yes, people will be getting another opportunity to get the analyst helmet.
Absolutely.
Just stay tuned to the PlanetSide Reddit. Well, or not Reddit, but the Twitter. It'll get announced on the Reddit as well, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
News
but,
travels fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just we'll do our best to make sure there's multiple sessions. So depending on what region you're in, you'll be able to participate and get your chance to get this helmet. Thanks to everybody who's been part of the tests in the past. They've been incredibly helpful. There's going to be some other changes coming to PTS as well. We're starting to wrap up on the combined arms system, so we'll be interested in your guys' feedback on that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. Oh, yeah. Do we have any specific questions?
Yes.
Sure.
Performance, PS4 construction, and implants. Okay.
Mhm.
So as far as construction on PS4, that is related to performance. We're trying to improve performance on PS4. One of the reasons that the PS4 update came out so much late, we were trying to get them to come out much more in lockstep with the PC. We had some performance improvements that were coming to PS4. It turned out that those made the PS4 a little bit more unstable than we wanted it to be. So we had to roll those back. It took us a little additional time. So why am I telling this story? Because we are trying to get performance to be improved to the point where we can bring constructions to PS4.
Yeah.
As far as the implants on PS4, that we're actively working on that right now. I would expect to see it in, if not the next PS4 patch, but definitely the one after that.
Mhm.
And
They're both things that we're very interested in bringing to PlayStation 4, and we're actively working on it. We're working hard on it.
Right. Parity is the goal.
and
Parity is still the goal.
Parity makes our lives so much easier because
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
we're maintaining two different sets of just data for the game is insane.
Yeah,
So,
there's too many chances to it's more error prone for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, and the two games function differently as well in little respects. So yeah, parity is definitely something that we want. It's something that we're pursuing. We are confident that we can complete the implant system, making good progress on it so far.
Yep.
And yeah, that's something that we don't want to give an ETA for just yet. Yeah.
Nah,
Not just yet.
I'm not confident on a
d-
delivery date for it, but
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if it came out in the next patch.
I know that's surprising to
Yeah.
hear for viewers sometimes, but like development is it's a very complex machine.
It's a
Trying
moving
to
target.
Yeah, just trying to make sure that everything works and we don't break existing things and but surprise, there was a thing that was written several years ago
Yeah.
that is totally messing this up
Yeah.
now.
Fortunately, we've never done that so far. We've never broken anything.
Never broken anything ever. Not allowed to.
So the question came up in chat: duplicates in the new loot boxes? No. Except for actually, you know what? Consumables. You will get consumables. So boosts are the big one. We haven't thrown in implants, but maybe later on down the line, those may be a possibility. So yeah, mostly boosts. You will always get a unique item if you don't get a boost. So
Well, yeah,
all the
it'll
decals-
give you something you can use. If you already
Right.
have a particular item, it won't be part of what it selects from.
Right.
And if it's a consumable, it will be
Yep.
in there. So you're always going to be able to get something interesting.
Always uniques. All right. So Yeah, how you guys feeling? About,
Guys
about this
doing
update?
good?
Yeah.
How you guys doing out
I
there?
don't care about these people. Yeah. So, let's pick up some more questions in chat. Any leadership changes? So, Nick.
And I'll take that one.
Okay. All right. I'll let you handle that one. All right. So, leadership is something that we, of course, feel is very valuable to the PlanetSide 2 experience. Actually, outfits in general and squad play. Again, team play is we're not nerfing it because it is super important. Leadership is something that is the benefits that need to come from leadership are somewhat UI intensive, and while we are getting a small portion of UI time, here and there, we do want to focus on it at some point, but now is not quite the time. But yeah, we're very cognizant of the fact that leadership is a very important part of the game, and we'll continue to kind of move that direction, be it in incremental improvements or as larger updates.
And then the second question was about getting the camo that matches my Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
I've advocated for it many times.
Maybe someday.
I guess the exact pattern that's on my shirt is one that we're not comfortable using in the game, but
Yeah.
there's definitely a possibility of having something that is very similar to my shirt.
It's not even casual Friday yet, Nick.
I had to wear the shirt.
It's cause
Yeah.
for celebration.
Yeah. People were
Don't you
excited
feel
last
like
time.
you're celebrating?
Yes. Yes.
I know my
Yes.
morale has improved.
Yeah. Let's blow something up again. I'm gonna blow something up again.
Oh, let's jump over to him.
I'm just gonna do this for my own good. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. So if you look up in the air, you'll see something somewhat familiar, I guess, from Shackle's videos mostly.
Yeah.
But Bastion Fleet Carrier is up there, kind of cruising in the sky, and we do have these scattered throughout. So, and this is over every continent, and they'll appear. They're more there just for atmospheric, kind of just to give you the feeling that, okay, when this faction wins, it's your time to kind of like, just
Devastate
to
your
punctuate.
enemies.
Yeah, punctuate that
Complete
victory.
destruction.
Flip tanks and just like kind of, just hopefully get a strike right on somebody's face. And it also allows us to kind of move people onto the next continent, which is kind of just helps kickstart fights there as well. Yeah, so just about punctuating that victory.
It's a pretty loud punctuation.
Loud punctuation, multiple punctuation marks. Okay, yeah.
And then should we show the no?
You want to show the daimyo, Nick?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Well, it's just the
Actually,
way that
that'll
looks.
probably go to test too, to be completely honest. Yeah, we had some concepts like batting around, so it would normally have been up on test sooner, but it's not just yet because we revisited it, and the community is excited about the old leaked data mined string like
What's
forever
that?
ago.
Oh, I don't
And
know the
so
controller.
just
You want me
just
to
so
On the
that
screen, yeah. So
There we
that's-
go.
it's on Nick's.
there
But
it is.
just so you guys know, when something is leaked, like data mined for like strings and stuff, it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean anything. Like that can change from there to when it actually gets released so quickly.
Yeah, names,
So,
features, like stats, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
All of it is in flux until
Yeah.
we're happy with it, until
Yeah.
we're done iterating on it, and then we put it out.
Yeah.
So if something falls in there, then it could be something we've intentionally planted in there
Yeah.
to mislead you.
Yeah.
Red herrings and such.
Yeah.
Or
Those are-
maybe we just
I love
missed
this.
a letter or something somewhere.
Yeah, we do that too.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
it's some pretty cool stuff there.
should we get one more raffle and then we wrap up?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks everybody for coming to the live stream today. We hope you liked what we're showing you, and looking forward to playing with you guys on the test server, and especially whenever we do like our event where we give out the analyst helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for bringing me on. Again, hello.
Yeah.
Wonderful PlanetSide 2.
We do have a coder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at-
It's
you know,
just,
doing
just
stuff.
doesn't talk on Reddit.
Yeah,
Jesus.
no, I
Yeah.
sleep way too much to be
Yeah.
involved on the internet.
On the other, and me, I'm just like there living it. It's my life.
You guys don't have to type raffle.
Yeah.
Also, you
Oh, they
guys
know.
don't have to.
Oh,
type
they
that.
are well aware.
Oh, they're just doing
Yeah,
it to
they are
troll us.
well aware. Okay, thanks very much, folks, for joining us on the live stream. Like Nick said, It's going to be coming to the BTS sometime in the very nearish future, very nearish TM. Yeah, we'll catch you.
See you guys next time.
Yeah.